I'm your host, Natalie Bradley, and today I'm here with one of my coworkers, Matt Denton. He's our agricultural specialist, and we actually work in the same department. Today, you're going to learn all about what do ag, FFA, farms, and Flint have in common. A production of Flint Energies, your local touchtone energy cooperative. Front Porch Chats brings you along while we discuss interesting events, people in history, programs, and hidden gems located in Central and Southwest Georgia. Grab a glass of iced tea while we chat for a spell. Welcome, Matt.
Thanks, Natalie.
Will you kind of give everybody your background? Like, what do you do at Flint exactly so that people have a better understanding of what does an agricultural specialist mean?
Okay, so here at Flint, with being an ag specialist, every day is different. The thing about the ag industry, especially in our areas, is so diverse. It changes from county to county. We start in Macon County, and we have the big dairies and the row crop operations. I might be over there. I've got a meeting this afternoon about some new grain bins that are being set up, and meeting with a member there. But then I'm gonna leave there, and I'm gonna head to Peach County, where there's nothing but peaches and pecans, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So every day is different. I might start out with a plan and get one phone call, and then I can ball that plan up and throw it out the window. But basically, I am the anything ag related. I am their guy. I'm the one that they call. I'm the one they call to complain about. I'm the one that they call to give praise about when Flint does something right. And that's everything. That's from the big dairies, the big row crops, peaches, pecans, and he even got a guy off of Moody Road that has a Connex hydroponics where he's growing lettuce
Cool.
for a local restaurant. So it's all in between. No day is the same.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. I think you and I are maybe cut from a similar cloth in that we like variation and
Yeah.
those fun challenges. So I think that one of the interesting things about what you do, a lot of people, when they think about like our choice loads or our key accounts, which are those big accounts, they may think about traditional industry, manufacturing, distribution centers, maybe things like that. But a large part of what we do, because of where we're located, is actually ag. So, I mean, you've got a lot that you're in charge of.
Right. Yes. So basically, when you talk about load management, you're talking about all of our pivots and then all of our chicken houses. No matter if they're layers or broilers or whatever they are, the chicken houses, when we run load management, they have to all swap to generators. So you got a 60 by 600-foot chicken house, and when the heat of the summer, the peak, those fans never cut off.
Mm.
So they have a tremendous amount of load on our system. So when we make that call, a bunch of them, way more than I thought would when I took this job. They swapped the generators to help Flint shed that load to
Oh, wow.
keep the rates low.
Okay. Yeah, it gets hot as Hades. I mean, like
Well,
that's
you've
serious.
you've got the hot, the summer times, but like even this morning when it's 24 degrees outside and we're expecting snow, we're running load management right now. So I've been in
Right.
contact with Barrington Dairy. They actually have their milking parlors on generators helping us shed load
Okay.
off of our system this morning.
That's awesome. Okay. When you have new, I guess, new businesses, new ag partnerships that are coming online and they're reaching out, like what are the kind of things that you have to research and know about and talk to them about to see if we can handle their needs?
So any new thing, the basic what I'm looking for is load and what they want from Flint. I don't want to over promise what Flint can do, but at the same time, there's honestly nothing that Flint can't do.
Hmm.
But when we're looking at it, so for instance, citrus is a big deal right now. There's a big push in Georgia to plant citrus, especially in maybe the corners of fields where the pivots don't reach and stuff like that. So the citrus are completely opposite of what your traditional, what you would think, heavy water in the summer. They don't do that. Right now, their irrigation is running nonstop during the cold months to keep the tree from freezing. So you have to look at those limitations of what. So we're running load management this morning because it's so cold and so much load. Everybody's at the house and the load is so high on our system. So I take that into account, but I also want to make sure that the member is aware of that before they ever plant a tree, that this could happen. You
Yeah.
might not be able to run when it's 19 degrees. We might have to come up with something else. Uh, I try to investigate. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to stuff like that. I want to know what they need from us. I want to know what it takes. I want to know exactly how their machine works, so make sure that we can incorporate what they need with what Flint needs.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. I thought that was really interesting. So, can you explain what a pivot is in case people don't know?
All right, so the pivot, and I'm sure everybody has seen one, but you see a big open field with tires that probably come up to your waist, and every pivot is different, but we have some really big ones on here. So that pivot is ran by a well that is in the ground. The water comes up. I think most of them are 700 to 1,000 gallons a minute is what they're pumping through that pivot that walks around in a complete circle around that field.
That's a lot. That's a lot of water. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. So why don't we talk about some of the things that you're doing to, I mean, it's basically workforce development and empowering the next generation that's coming along. But what are some of the things that you do, like with FFA? What does that look like in your role?
Probably the biggest thing that I'm a part of is the Georgia EMC wiring contest.
Okay.
The wiring contest is a leadership event through Georgia FFA, broke up into regions and areas. We are Central Region. Flint's territory is Central Region, Area 3.
Okay.
So we have what we call a workshop, which is basically a scrimmage game in November where the advisor and the student can come. They're giving a wiring schematic that they have to wire. They're giving a problem-solving test, and then they have a subject for a prepared speech. Through that scrimmage game workshop, they're able to ask questions. We're able to be very hands-on with them. No, don't do it like this. We're looking for this. Make sure that this cap is on tight. When they get to the contest, they are 100% on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing. They get a wiring schematic, and they're given this schematic ahead of time so they can prepare. They go through our store where there's hundreds of items, and they've got to know, I need this breaker, I need this size wire, I need this receptacle, whatever it may be. First and second place in each area move on to the state contest in March. Mm-hmm. When you make it on to the state contest, you're guaranteed a scholarship through Georgia EMC in-state school.
That's huge.
It's huge. I mean, we were talking a few minutes ago. When you get to the end of your high school career, it all turns to scholarships. How much money can I get? Because I don't have one in college yet, but I heard it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. Get ready, Matt. You might cry in the corner a little bit.
Oh, man. So what we do is we try to go to the high schools. We try to get the ag advisors involved because it is a very intimidating contest. If I had to do that, I'm a little intimidated each time I go because I don't want to be the guy that hears somebody wrong. So I make sure I do my homework like I'm taking the test. Mm-hmm. But we want them to be involved. We want them that hands-on experience, even if they never use it other than changing out an outlet in their own home. It might save them $100 in the future.
Absolutely. Well, and like these rural communities, when we moved back down here, we were living in Macon County, and I'm just going to be real honest with you. Like, you can't find an electrician. It's like,
right. And you look at how the economy is right now with the building that we have around us. They're on big jobs, and they're on jobs that they can make some money. They're not going to leave there to come make, for an hour or two to replace something at your house. So being able to do that and having the ability and the confidence in yourself to do that, you can't go wrong with it.
No, you've got like built-in job security.
Absolutely. And you'll be everybody's best friend.
That's right. So, okay, with this competition, you mentioned, so there's several components. There's also a leadership contest because you said before we started recording, I think it includes some public speaking. So that's awesome.
Yes.
That's great experience for these.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not the greatest at public speaking, but the only reason I'm able to fumble through it halfway what I did is because I started in high school and they just threw me out there and made me do it basically. And then that's a big thing. If you get somebody who can get up in front of a room of strangers and just talk, and it's you're prepared, you know the question, you know what you need to tell them. It prepared. Every year that you go through it, it gets easier. I watch them through 9th grade through 12th grade. Every year they come to the contest, they get a little better every year, and that's what you want to see.
That's such a good skill to have. That's awesome. Okay, so why don't we talk about what you do with Georgia Young Farmers?
Yes. So with Flint, they are. I am very, very lucky that they let me be a part of the organizations that I've been a part of. But they want anything that the ag membership might be involved with. One of that is the Georgia Young Farmers Association. The Georgia Young Farmers Association is broke up into county chapters. I'm a member of the House and County Young Farmer chapter. And within that, we do a lot of things. It's all community driven. Everything that we do, our big thing that we do is our House and County Livestock Show that we hold every February. So the 5 high schools and however many middle schools and elementary schools that are in House and County, they all come together. It'll be about 300 head of hogs and probably 60 head of cows that we'll show on Friday and Saturday night. And through our fundraising and our chop shop that you see at the Georgia National Fair that the Young Farmers puts on, we'll give away about $60,000
Wow.
to those 320 head of kids that help that show with Houston County. It kind of helps pay for some feed. It might set them up to buy that project for next year. But with that, and a lot of people don't think about it. So you have one kid at Northside High School that has one steer that he's going to show. Now that steer is obviously it's a 1,200 pound animal, but that makes that young student a producer that is going to put food in the food chain. And so he is in stereotypical form. He is a farmer. He is raising a commodity to be sold and put into the food chain. So we try to help support them in any way we can. With the Georgia Young Farmers, they've seen about 2 years ago, I guess they've seen a kind of a disconnect between the school age, college days. We had their parents, but the kids kind of wouldn't come back for a while. Mm-hmm. So they started a junior young farmer organization, so in high school. So that makes them eligible to be part of scholarships. And I mean, it goes back to, free money. You pay them, they come, right? So we have through the Georgia Young Farmers, House and County Young Farmers, we have junior representatives, and luckily we have some from all 5 high schools that are very active in what we do. And as House and County Young Farmers, we're doing this for them. So to have their feedback and to see them active within our organization kind of gives us a little fire under us. Let's make it better for them. So the hope is they go through high school, college, and when they enter the workforce, they come back to us, and then we have another contact in our organization as well.
Yeah. I mean, it all is workforce development, community development. It all goes hand in hand. And before I got into this world of community development, I didn't realize how much, like you see it, but you don't really realize, I guess, how much work goes into retention and, building up the next generation of workforce in non-traditional ways, I would say.
Right. And that is one of the great things about the ag community. And we actually had coming back from the Young Farmers Conference the other day, man, my wife had this conversation with a friend of ours. Is the ag industry is so diverse. When you think about it, you think about the guy on the tractor with the cotton. You don't think about the young lady who's starting the You Pick flower place and the pumpkin patch that is still part of the ag community, just found a different market and their own little niche to it. I mean, like I said, I've got a guy that does hydroponic lettuce, beekeeping, honeybees. That's a big thing, and it's all under the ag umbrella. It makes us very diverse. If one thing doesn't hit, maybe the rest of them will, and we'll all be okay.
In a few months, we'll have some podcasts featuring our Bright Ideas teacher winners, but we've already recorded one of them with one of our teachers, Jake Harvey, over at Mossy Creek Middle, and he's got a hydroponics classroom.
Right.
And have you seen it?
Yeah, them things are neat.
I cannot wait to see it in person. Like, he was showing it to me, and I was like, I want a room like this in my house. Yeah. It's so cool.
Well, the thing is, with technology and the way things are right now, you can produce a lot with a little nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the ag industry is going. I mean, like, it's very neat to see your non-traditional ag people become part of the ag industry through their own way.
Yeah, I think that's interesting you touched on that because that's so true. Like, I am not like a country girl, but I love gardening and I love like the beekeeping. I love all of it. I'm very fascinated by it. I do not want to raise hogs, and I don't want to, I don't.
From somebody who raises hogs, I don't blame you. Yeah. Don't blame you a bit.
There's some areas that I'm like, no, thank you, pass. But I'm fascinated by even like urban gardening and taking care of like having a kitchen garden like people did that was commonplace even in the 1900s. It's fun. So I like learning about it, even though that was not part of my childhood. My granddaddy was a farmer. He was a cattle farmer. And, he always wanted me to get out there with him. And I liked feeding the cows from the back of the truck, throwing.
Yeah.
They kind of scared me a little bit. So,
Yeah, I
um,
don't blame you. That's kind of the neat thing is everybody can find their own place. I
yeah,
mean, they don't have to do it the way their granddaddy did it. They can go find their own deal, and I mean, and be just as successful at it. I mean, it's really really neat to see what some people can, what how their brain works, and think, well,
yeah,
golly, why didn't I think of that? You know,
yes,
but
yeah,
being in the ag industry, I get to be a part of it. So this is a very very rewarding job. It's a very neat job that I have. I get to
yeah,
go around and people ask me, I never really can explain what I do. They just,
yes,
when I leave, they're like, "Oh my God, that is so cool." I'm like, "You're
yeah,
right, it is. I mean,
it is.
absolutely, it is."
It's lots of fun. And then you've got even shops, like I'm thinking about downtown Perry, you've got the Everyday Gardener, and they've
Right.
got their greenhouses and their farm is in Crawford County, if I'm
It
not
is. Yep.
mistaken, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
like
Yep.
Isella area. And they've got beautiful plants and landscaping options that you can buy from them. So I think that their business concept is kind of ingenious too, like you said. Like it's a creative way to take that passion and turn it into a profit in a different way. Okay, so farm tours. You talked about doing that. That's part of the Young Farmers Association, right?
Yes. So with the Georgia Young Farmers, they rotate it. So you have a North, Central, and South region within the Young Farmers organization.
Hmm.
Every summer, they pick a county, and it rotates. 2 years ago, we did Houston County. Houston County was the ag stop, the summer tour. And basically, what it is, you're getting people from across the state to come visit your county, and that is your opportunity to showcase the agriculture in your county. So we took them to the Inner Four Lumber Mill in Perry, kind of rode through as if we were a log truck. You would go across the scales here, you'd be unloaded and graded here. Quick little tour through what they would let us see of the sawmill.
Hmm.
Then we left there and we went to Silicon Ranch to the sheep farm because that is it's a hot topic. I mean, it is. You're watching Silicon Ranch take land, put solar panels on it, but then bring the ag back in it with the sheep.
Hmm.
Was something that we wanted to showcase. We wanted to showcase that no, they're not just robbing land and putting solar panels. They're keeping ag there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was really neat for people to see. And then we left there and we went to King Springs pecan, where they have a kind of a different approach to pecan harvesting. They don't do a ground harvest. They have almost like what you see in California with the almond trees, a big umbrella that they put under the tree, and then they shake the tree. Everything falls in that umbrella to a conveyor belt, and the pecans never hit the ground.
That's
And
cool.
we let Cody Casey, who's the farm manager, talk about they don't do a lot of mowing and spraying out there. They plant wildflowers, which brings the pollinators in. I mean, it's just kind of a different approach to everything.
Yeah.
This year we're going to Stevens County up in North Georgia, so it'll be a lot of smaller operations.
Hmm.
I think we're going to a vineyard, to the winery where they make wine. I think we're going to go to a apple orchard and maybe something else. But it's
Oh,
just
fun.
kind of like I said earlier. It's so diverse. Like even
Yeah.
our territory is so diverse. When you drive 2-3 hours in either direction, it's something you've never seen before. So
Hmm.
it's really neat to get out there and see the different types of agriculture in Georgia.
Yeah, that is a lot of fun. So, what about some of the other organizations that are out there, like 4-H? Like, how do we support some of these other really awesome organizations that are teaching these kids various things in the ag related industry?
So 4-H is a kind of a different organization than
Hmm.
FFA, but at the same time it's the same. Basically, what they're doing is they are investing in young kids and trying to pull them out of their shell. They have different speaking contests that Flint will help judge or sponsor. Flint actually, our foundation just gave a huge donation to the Houston County 4-H extension to give them an outdoor pavilion where they can do anything from lawnmower driving to they have the really neat thing I was out there playing with them the other day is they have a pellet gun shooting contest. They have I don't know really what you call it, the little air guns things.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean they're really expensive and they're really cool.
Uh-huh.
So and that's kind of 4-H's deal is they let them kind of figure out where they fit in. Flint is there every step of the way. Sam Price, who's in Houston County, she if she needs something, and it might be 30 minutes notice, Matt, I need you to come do this, and we're there. We try to help them any way they need it, so they know that we're somebody that they can always count on.
That's awesome. So, stepping back to FFA again, we're in the central region, and I know that you're super active with it. So, you were talking about how many kids are in that region and participating?
So and every August, Central Region FFA does like a summit, so where they bring Area 3 and Area 4 together, and it's
Okay,
for 2 days. It's a little over 2,000 kids.
that's cool.
They have a motivational speaker. They have gaga ball, bull riding, hatchet throwing. We do an obstacle course. It's basically it's bringing them together. It's one, it's letting them meet other kids within their area. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they might be one county away and they don't know each other. Two, it's all about team building. It is all the contests are with teams. There, you have to select your fast runner, your strong carrier. I mean, it's all about utilizing who's on your team to win. And I don't know how many people have been around high school and middle school FFA members, but they are competitive.
Yeah.
So they don't win nothing, but they want to win. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like we're $1,000 prize. They get a plaque.
Yes.
But they
It's
are willing to
serious.
sacrifice everything to get that plaque. I
Yes.
mean, it's a badge of honor. I mean, it really is. So it's really neat to see. It's really neat to see them compete against each other the way they do. And then as soon as the competition's over and somebody puts the Cupid Shuffle on, they're all out there dancing together, in the middle
Yes.
of the arena.
Yeah.
Chris Corzine, who's the Central Region FFA president or boss, he does a really good job. Me and Chris have got to be really good friends, and he calls on me a lot of times, and I call on him as well. Hey, get me involved. What can I do? What do you need help with? And I say, well, are you sure? Because I need somebody to do this. And I said, yes, just give it to me. We help a lot with the livestock judging. Livestock judging was supposed to be today, and I was super pumped and I was ready, and then snow comes in and everything gets canceled.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to hear when that makeup date is, but I enjoy being there. I enjoy just being a helping hand and being the guy when people call, they know I'm going to answer.
Yeah. Well, and seeing like these programs and how Flint, how you specifically representing Flint really invests in these kids and in these programs and educating them and supporting them financially and otherwise. It's really neat to watch how these kids grow up through the programs and how it forms them and shapes them into these awesome human beings that they become. And two kids that they're adults now, but Ansley and Ava Greer, they're in Dooley County, but they've I think both of them have received scholarships from us. They both have internships with the USDA now, and it's because of a lot of that FFA experience that they had. They were highly competitive. They ended up becoming officers, and they're from teeny tiny school in Dooley County, and they learned so much. They have a very strong FFA program at their school, and just watching them learn how to do these public speaking bits, where they had to present and then learn all these different things through the team building. I was just fascinated. I had never seen FFA up close like that with what these kids learn, and it's just a super cool program. And as is 4-H, I just think that we've got a lot of really great things going on here. Is there anything that we did not touch on that you want people to know, or do you feel like we covered everything?
The biggest thing is my day job is what I call it, the ag specialist for the members. We're very fortunate at Flint that a lot of our board is in the ag industry and they see a need for this position or something like that. I'm one of the lucky people that I really enjoy my job. It's not always great, but I hadn't found a job that is. Some days are bad. As this, phone never stops ringing and you can't make anybody happy. But then every now and then you get those days where you make everybody happy. So
Right.
it's kind of a trade-off. I'm proud to be with Flint Energies. I'm proud to be where I am, and I can't think of another organization that has a position like this. I've got 17 phone calls this morning. 6 since we've been on this podcast. So when I start here, every one of them's got a problem. Now, how big they are, I don't know, but I'm glad that I get to be the guy that gets to help solve them.
Yes. So, real quick, can you talk about where you started at Flint,
Yes.
and how you've moved around to now be in this position?
So I actually started with Flint as a contractor for Pike Electric. I worked for Pike for 2 years. A job came open with Flint as a lineman, and I took it just because I wanted to sleep in my bed every night. I worked as a lineman for 10 or 11 years, and then I got a job as a staking engineer, which actually goes out and builds the designs and builds the lines for pivots, for chicken houses, for residential houses. When Mr. David Delton, who previously had this position, retired, I was able to move over here about 4 years ago. So it kind of gave me a perfect storm of experience where I could see, as I met with a member, all right, so we're going to have to build a 3-phase line down through here. It's going to cost roughly about this much. And I understand that these demands have to be met. So it kind of gave me the knowledge, just enough knowledge to be dangerous sometimes,
Yes.
But I kind of understood the process from both sides of it before I took this position, which has
Yeah.
been very beneficial to me.
Yeah, awesome. And I think it's helpful too when people are thinking about this sounds like it's interesting, but I don't see any openings. You get your foot in the door and then you
Yes,
never know
I
what
tell people all the time, just put in for the job because
yeah.
you never know where that job could lead.
And you
Uh,
never know how much that first job is teaching you about what the
oh,
second and third job
absolutely.
is.
Yeah, I mean, when I started at Flint, I didn't know this position existed.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started at Flint, I'd been here several years before I met David Yelton and figured out exactly what he did. And then once I figured it out, I was like, okay, that's it. Like, that's the coolest job at Flint.
Yeah.
And I'd meet him at the safety meetings and I'd be like, so, how many years you got left?
Yeah. Not that I'm pushing you out, but bye. Love you so much.
Give me a heads up before you do.
I love it. Well, it's always fun working with you, Matt, and I've learned so much just listening. We have our department meetings and we share the different things that we're working on, and it's always just really, really fascinating to hear even stuff that's probably just like everyday things to you. I don't know. I think it's very interesting. I'm a curious person, so I guess
Yeah.
you
I'm the
share
same
these
way.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I meet with our members and they answer every question I have because they might feel like they have to. But a lot of times it's just for me personally. Like
Yes.
I'm a nerd when it comes to it. I want to understand
Yeah.
like where your mindset's at and how your operation works. I'm very interested in stuff like that, and it kind of maybe it helps set me up for the next person that I meet as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing a glimpse at what you do and your expertise and all the interesting ways that you've got your hands in the community and helping with our ag accounts and also our future ag accounts. So
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
I appreciate the time.
Stay warm.
Yes, ma'am. You too.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, we need your help. Please give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us get this information out to more people about what's going on in Central and Southwest Georgia. Also, share this podcast on social media with your friends and family because it helps get more eyes and ears on what we have going on in our fabulous communities. Thank you.